Hi children, today I am going to explain metals and non-metals. This is the introduction of about metals and non-metals. You know, in daily life we are using these metals. So here mainly gold and silver and copper, these are used in jewelries. Mainly gold and silver, these are used in jewelries. And also iron metal is there here. Iron metal is used for building constructions, and also aluminium metal is used in electrical wires, and also copper metal is used in electrical wires. So metals are used in our daily life. So, and magnesium metal burns in the magnesium metal burns a white dazzling flame. So this is also used in crackers. So many metals we are used in our daily life. Okay na, children, understanding? So let us discuss about the metals. Today I will explain about the metals. What are the metals? Here in the periodic table, so most of the metals, most of the elements are metals only. 80% metals are present. Okay. So 20% non-metals and also metalloids and also noble gases. Children, understanding? See, in our daily life we are using all these metals. Okay. And out of 118 elements, 80% are metals, 20% are non-metals and metalloids and noble gases. So this is the periodic table. See, lighter metals which are present at the left side of the periodic table, and the heavy metals which are present at the middle of the periodic table, and non-metals and metalloids and noble gases which are present at the right side of the periodic table. And also these heavy metals are also called as transition metals. And this is about the introduction part of the metals and non-metals. And metals, non-metals are what? These are elements. Elements are classified into two types, mainly two types. One is metals, non-metals, and also metalloids, noble gases undercomes in non-metals. Okay na, children, understanding? Okay, let's discuss about the metals. So what are metals? The tendency of a metal to lose their electrons is called as metals. See, we have different types of metals, you know, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper, mercury, silver, gold, copper, platinum. Mostly we are using these metals in our daily life. So these are the metals: potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper, mercury, silver, gold, copper, platinum. These are the metals. Okay. So these metals, so what happens? The tendency of an element to lose their electrons is called as metals. See, generally I am taking metal, so I am taking sodium atomic number 11, 2, 8, 1. Then electronic configuration 281, and the outermost electron is 1. So it loses one electron. So sodium atomic number 11, that means protons 11, electrons 11. So it loses one electron to form Na plus. So here 11 protons and 10 electrons. So the difference is Na plus. See, here one proton is more than electron. So one more proton is present. That's why I am showing here plus. So sodium loses its electron and forms Na plus. Okay na, children? Sodium loses one electron, it forms plus, because here we are removing the electrons, not protons. That's why here 10 electrons and 11 protons, the difference is one proton, proton charge is positive. So that's why I am showing here positive. So here magnesium also, second example, magnesium loses 2 electrons because magnesium atomic number 12, electronic configuration 282. This is a shell method electronic configuration. Sodium also 281, magnesium 282. These are the shell method electronic configurations, children. Okay na? So 282. So in outermost shell 2 electrons are present, loses 2 electrons. So forms Mg 2 plus because magnesium atomic number 12 and protons also 12, electrons 12. So I am removing 2 electrons. So then we will get 12 protons, 10 electrons, and the difference is here 2. So which are more here? 2 protons are more. That's why I am showing here plus 2. So one more example, aluminium. This is first example. This is second example. And third example, aluminium, atomic number is 13, protons 13 protons, electrons 13 electrons. Here it loses 3 electrons to form Al plus 3. Here 13 protons, 10 electrons, and the difference is 3 protons. So here 3 protons are more than 10 electrons. So here 13 protons, 13 electrons. Here 13 protons, 10 electrons. After removed 3 electrons, children. Okay. So here aluminium shows plus 3. So difference is how much here? 3 protons are more than 10 electrons. So proton charge is positive. That's why here we are showing 3 protons are more than 10 electrons. That's why here Al plus 3. Al plus 3. So okay na, children. So Al plus 3 this is. Most of the metals are electropositive and also they form cations. Children, these elements are metals. The tendency of an atom lose their electrons forms positive charge. They are electropositive, they form cations. They form cations. So metals will form cations. So understanding, children. So most of the metals are electropositive. In the periodic table, so first A group elements, second A group elements are high electropositive. Okay na? Let's go to the next one. Amma. So let's discuss about the metals, physical properties of metals. Physical properties of metals. The elements which exhibit physical properties like physical state of the metal and hard nature and malleability nature, ductility nature and lustrous nature and sonorous nature, good conductors of heat and good conductors of electricity. If they exhibit all these physical properties, those elements are called as metals. So according to the lower classes, we will discuss about the physical properties only. In the higher classes, you will discuss about the tendency of an element to lose their electrons is called as metals. So first one is here, the elements which exhibit physical properties. First one is physical state. Physical state. Children, physical state of the metals. Most of the metals are solid in state. Most of the metals are in solid state. So first one is what, amma? Solid state. Most of the metals are solids. Most of the metals are solids except mercury. So mercury is a liquid metal. So most of the metals are solids. except mercury. Mercury is a liquid. Mercury is a liquid. So this is the first point. So 80% are metals only na, out of 118 elements, 80% are metals. So all metals are solids except liquid, that is mercury. Next, second one is hardness of the metal. Hardness of the metal. So hardness of the metal. Most of the metals are hard in nature, but all metals are not same hard. The hardness of the metals varies from metal to metal. Once again, most of the metals are hard in nature, but all metals are not hard the same hardness. So once again, most of the metals are hard in nature, but all metals are not the same hard. Hardness of the metals varies from metal to metal. That is the hardness of the metal. So changes. See, most of the metals are hard in nature, but all metals are not hard with the same. And varies from metal to metal. The hardness of the metal varies from metal to metal. Okay na children? Right, this is the hardness of the metal. Third one, malleability. The property of a metal in which metals can be beaten into sheets with a hammer is called as malleability. Once again, malleability means what? The property of a metal in which the metals can be beaten into sheets with a hammer. So if you use the hammer, metals can be converted into metallic sheets. So that is called as malleability. Beaten into sheets. Beaten into sheets. Beaten into sheets. The property of a metal in which metals can be beaten into sheets, that is called as malleability. So most of the metals are malleable in nature, and gold and silver, these are the two metals which are highest malleability. So gold, silver, Au and silver, these are the best malleability nature. Best malleability nature. Best malleability nature. And next, aluminium, copper are the high malleability nature. High malleability. Best malleability means gold and silver. Aluminium, coppers are high malleability. So these are the three physical properties of metals. First one is what? Physical state. Physical state is what? Most of the metals are solids except mercury. Second one, hardness of the metal. Most of the metals are hard in nature, but all metals are not with the same hardness. So it varies from metal to metal. Right, next, malleability. Metals which can be beaten into sheets. Gold, silver are best malleability, and aluminium, coppers are high malleability. So this is about the malleability properties. Okay, namma children, understanding? Let us discuss about the ductility nature. The property of a metal in which metals can be drawn into wires. Metals can be drawn into wires. So that is called as ductility. Ductility nature, fourth one. Ductility means The property of a metal in which the metals can be drawn into wires. So if you take the metal, that metal can be converted into wires, can be drawn into wires. So that is called as ductility. Can be drawn into wires. Can be drawn into wires. Can be drawn into wires. That is called as ductility. You know very well about the ductility. Most of the ductility nature of the which metals? So gold, silver, these are also same like malleability. How I explained about malleability, same gold, silver also best ductility nature. Best ductility nature. So gold, silver are the more best ductility nature. Okay, this is about the ductility. Next one, so lustrous nature. They have shining property. They have shining property. Metals have shining surface. Shining surface. Metals have shining surface. These are shining surface. So metals are lustrous nature. That means they have shining surface. So if you take the small pieces of metal, just rub by using the sandpaper, rub with the sandpaper, then those metals have shining nature. Take the metals and use the sandpaper, rub with the sandpaper, then you will get that those metals will get shining nature. Shining nature. So those are having shining surface. Most of the metals are shining nature. Most of the metals are shining nature. So this is about the lustrous nature. So this is the fifth physical property of metals. Next one is sonorous nature. Sonorous. Most of the metals are sonorous nature. Sonorous means produce the sound. When they strikes the subject, any object, when these metals strikes their any hard subject, then they produce the sound, ringing sound. That is called as sonorous nature. Once again, a property of metals in which the metals produce sound when they strikes the hot object is called as sonorous nature. Children understanding what I am telling? Sonorous means what? The property of metals in which they produce the sound when they strikes the hot objects. That is called as sonorous nature. See, they produce ringing sound. Produce ringing sound. Metals produce ringing sound when they strike hard objects. Strike the hard objects. Hard objects. So this is called as sonorous property. The metals produce ringing sound when they strikes the hard object. Produce, this is important. Produce the ringing sound when they strikes the hard object. This is called as sonorous nature. Sonorous nature. So okay. So this is the sixth physical property of metal. So let's go to the next one. Good conductors of heat and electricity. So what is good conductor of heat and electricity? Seventh physical property. Good conductors of heat. So good conductors of heat. In order to understand the good conductors of heat, I will take the one activity. By using that activity, we can say that is good conductors of electricity or not. So silver and coppers are the good conductors of heat and electricity. Good conductors of heat and electricity. Silver and coppers. These are the best conductors of heat and electricity. So what is good conductor? If they allow the electric current, pass through them, that is called as good conductors of heat. Metals which allow the heat or electricity, if they allow the heat, that is called as good conductor. How they will allow the heat or electricity? Because of that flow of electrons. Because of the flow of electrons, they allow the electricity, they allow the electric current, then that is called as good conductors of heat and electricity. I am taking the iron stand. This is the metal sample. This is metal sample. This is metal sample. I am taking the here wax. This is wax and this is pin. So this is wax. This is wax and here I am taking pin. This is pin. This is metallic sample. This is wax. This is pin. This is the iron stand. Okay. So if I use this activity, what is present in this activity? So here I am taking here, I am taking here burner. So here I am taking burner. I am heating the left side, this side, one end of the metallic sample. So it takes the heat. It allows the heat. And then it transfers from one place to another place. Heat transfers from one place to another place. Then this wax will melt. This wax melts. Wax melts. Then pin falls down. This will falls down. This will fall down or falls down. Okay. So what I am telling here, iron stand I have taken, Bunsen burner I have taken. From one side I am heating. This is a metal sample. Metal sample allows the heat and wax, and we are keeping wax and we are dipping the pin into the wax. Then pin falls down after heated, because heat allows from one place to another place. Then wax will melt or then pins falls down. So this is the activity. From this activity what you understood? Metals are good conductors of heat. Metals are good conductors of heat. If they allow the heat, that is good conductor. If they allow the electric current, that is good conductor. When they allow the electric current, because they are having electrons, then only they allow the electric current and good conductors. So which are good conductors here? Silver and copper, these are the best conductors of heat and electricity also. But this is more expensive. This is more expensive. This is very cheap metal, so that's why we are using copper metal. So silver is more expensive, more cost, that's why copper is used in the good conductors of electricity. So copper is used because this is cheap metal. It is used in electrical wires. So okay, electric purpose. So and also good conductors of heat. So this is about the activity. Tells about the good conductors of heat. So this is the 7th physical property. Next, let's go to the good conductors of electricity. Children, understanding? అర్థమవుతుందా ఏం చెప్తున్నాను? ఇప్పుడు దాకా ఏం చెప్పాను? ఫిజికల్ స్టేట్ ఆఫ్ ద మెటల్ చెప్పాను, తర్వాత హార్డ్ నేచర్ చెప్పాను, నెక్స్ట్ malleability, ductility, lustrous nature, sonorous nature, next good conductors of heat. So 9th one, if they allow the electric current, that means if they allow because of that free electrons, if they allow the electric current, that means due to the presence of free electrons, that is, those are good conductors of electricity. So metals are good conductors of electricity because they allow the electric current. If they allow the electric current, that is called as good conductor, because due to the presence of free electrons, that is called as good conductor of electricity. In order to explain good conductor of electricity, I will take here battery and connected to the wire, and here bulb, and here plug, and connecting here we will insert the metal. This is the metallic sample, metal sample. I am taking, this is the copper metal. So copper metal I am taking here. So inserting the metal sample between the two electrical wires which are made from PVC, polyvinyl. This is PVC, polyvinyl chloride, this is. So inside wire is there, then this metal sample contains electrons. This is flow of electrons. Because of that flow of electrons, it allows the electric current, and electricity is passed through the wires, PVC wires. Here metal sample is there, flow of electrons from here. When switch on, then electricity is passed. Because of that free electrons, then bulb will glow. Bulb glows. Okay, bulb glows. Because of that, metals are good conductor of electricity. Example, copper, silver and copper, these two are good conductors of electricity. This is more expensive. This is cheap metal. So that's why copper is used as a electrical wire purpose. So many metals we will use, aluminum wire or copper wire we will use, but silver is the best conductor of electricity, but this is more expensive. We are using copper and aluminum. Mostly we are using these metals. So this is about the good conductors of electricity. Children, I explained about this clearly. So about metals. Okay na? Tomorrow we will discuss about the uses of metals in our daily life. Okay. So prepare well, get good marks. Okay na? Everyone should understand the concept. Everyone should listen the class. If you not understand, once again you listen the class, understand and complete that complete concept 1. Okay na? Everyone should complete this concept 1, what I taught you. So prepare well, children. Prepare well. Okay, get the knowledge from me or from the book also. Okay, understand. So have a nice day. Thank you.